you guys, what's up? Lena here again from Richness. Welcome to our third and final video in this three-part video series. In this particular video, we're going to be covering a lot of awesome stuff, but specifically, we're going to be talking about how we can create an awesome personal brand. So let's just get right into it. In this video, we're going to be talking about four main things. The first is, as I mentioned in the previous video, solidifying a business plan. How do you do that? But the long story short, guys, is it's really not that complicated. We're also going to be talking about how we can market ourselves. How do we create an awesome personal brand that attracts high-ticket, high-paying clients? How do we sign with legit clients? How do you identify the people who you want to be working with, and how do you reach out to them in an authentic, honest way? And then, how do you make consistent revenue? We're not looking to be those freelancers who basically have different incomes every single month. We're going to be talking about how we can keep those dollars coming in the door consistently every single month. So let's first talk about business plans. This is such a common question that people say to me when my clients come to me and they say, okay, I want to start a business, but I need to have a certain amount of money, like starter money, in order to start my business. And I'm like, well, okay, how much do you think that you need? And they're like, I don't know, maybe $100,000. And I'm like, are you crazy? Since when do you need $100,000 or any substantial amount of money to start a business, especially a freelance business? It's just not legit. So unless you're trying to build a really complex online or physical product, you probably won't need a crazy amount of money to start. All you need is really money for a website or whatever basic things that you need. So what you need, you guys, what you need to have here is basically the goals and the organization systems and the drive in order to make it happen, but you do not need a crazy amount of money, you guys. So really, stop complicating things. Execute on a plan will always beat perfection. Remember that, you guys. Execution always beats perfection. You need to invest in yourself through time and some money, not crazy amounts of money, but if something overwhelms you, don't let it get you stuck. It's important to always be asking these questions and thinking ahead, but don't ever get stuck. But the moral of the story is, you guys, you really just need money, maybe for a website, maybe if you want to buy a branded email address. So like, for example, mine is lena@socialglowconsulting.com. Social Glow is basically my marketing agency here in Tel Aviv. Whatever it is, a few basic things that cost a few dollars, but really don't let money ever get you stuck. So here are the most common marketing questions that people ask me, okay? I tell my clients, you need to brand yourself, right? You have to have some kind of personal brand. And people are like, why? Why does that matter? Why do we need to have any kind of personal branding? How can I market myself without seeming egocentric? Basically, how can I put my stuff out into the world without people calling me a sellout or a crazy egomaniac or something like that? Do I have to have a website? How do I even make a website? How do you even know how to design it? What do I even include in a website? Should I just post advertisements, like a graphic on Facebook or, that kind of a thing? And can I just use social platforms to promote myself? How can I basically use Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whatever else to promote myself without, again, seeming like a crazy egomaniac? So these are all super common questions that I get when it comes to branding, and we're going to walk through all of them together. So first of all, what is marketing, right? In my mind, obviously, there are hundreds of definitions of marketing. This is how I think of it. Marketing is connecting with potential customers through value, personalization, and assistance before they're ever ready to purchase what you're selling. So that's how I like to think of it, guys. Basically, bringing value of some sort to people's lives before they ever purchase what you're selling. So basically, you guys, this is kind of the system of how I like it to work, okay? It's not random. You're not just putting stuff out into the world. Hey, here's my name. Hey, here's what I'm selling. It's organized, right? It's systematized. And this is how I like to do it. First of all, this is how you would break down a very basic marketing strategy. The first thing that you need, of course, right, are your ideal customers and goals. What are you even trying to accomplish here? Maybe you're trying to have a certain kind of customer, you're trying to have this many clients or customers, whatever it is, you have your ideal clients and goals, right? And based on who that ideal customer is, you need to create content that will basically resonate with them, that will help them in some way. So we'll be going through examples in a little bit, but basically the idea is if you want to attract, for example, people who are interested in fitness services, you want to be a freelance fitness instructor, then maybe you want to create a certain kind of content that will help them with that issue. And then basically you share those ideas, you share that helpful content through social media, through a blog, through your website, and through word of mouth. And then those four combined things will attract the right clients. If you guys are feeling totally overwhelmed already, like we just made a huge jump, don't worry, we're going to be breaking this all down. So personal branding, why does it even matter? We went through those list of questions before. Let's go back to there, really walk through this step by step. Really, you guys, the reason that you need personal branding, why you need to have a brand around yourself and your services, is because your services and skills just aren't enough anymore. You know, if you think about it, the internet is so busy. People are so overwhelmed by the amount of content that's coming at them every single day, whether it's on their phone or in live person, whatever it is. People are coming at them in a million different directions, and you have to find a way that stands out beyond your service or product. What are you going to do? What are you going to say and represent that stands out beyond your service or product? Customers depend on familiarity before they make a purchase. So if you think about it, most people today, unless it's like a stupid thing, like you go into the drugstore and, buy new Q-tips or something, but for the most part, people don't buy things if they've never heard of the brand or service. People like familiarity. And basically, before anybody ever purchases what you're selling, they're going to want to be familiar with you as well. They're going to want to know who you are, what do you represent, what are your values, and how will you basically help them and make their lives easier. And the way, again, that you do that is by sharing awesome content with them. If you share awesome content with them over and over again, they begin to become familiar with your brand voice, with your messages, with your values. Then that only makes them more likely to purchase from you in the long run. Good personal branding, you guys, means higher rates. If you can market yourself, share basically yourself with the world as a premium service, somebody who's amazing at what you do, somebody who's amazing at customer service or will drive amazing results or whatever it is for you, that will immediately drive more income. So if you just show up and you say, hey, I'm a computer programmer or whatever, there's a million people who do computer programming. But what are you going to do that's basically going to incentivize them to pay you more? You have to basically represent yourself as a premium service provider. Ultimately, you guys, people relate to people. People don't relate to brands. They don't relate to companies. They don't relate to advertisements. People relate to people. And you need to create a brand story around yourself, around your services that potential customers will relate to. People will say, oh, hey, I like that person. I like their personality. I like what they're saying, whatever it is. This is what is going to build trust between you and that person. And it's going to basically create an online persona for them to trust and for lots of other people to trust and to begin to like. So basically, you need to make yourself a likable person. You need people to relate to you, and you need people to trust what you're selling before they ever purchase what you're selling. So how can you market yourself without seeming egocentric? A lot of people have this fear, especially millennials. They're like, okay, I'm going to make a website for myself, but, that's embarrassing. All my friends are going to call me a sellout. I'm going to seem like I'm just talking about myself. This is stupid. This is embarrassing, whatever it is. You guys, that is such bullshit. I can't even tell you. Who is going to be your number one fan if not you? Nobody else is going to build this business for you. Nobody else is going to figure all this out for you. If you let everybody else figure everything out for you, you're going to be an employee for the rest of your life. That's just the truth. You have to be your own number one fan. You have to put yourself out there, and you have to make this happen because nobody else will. Also remember, you guys, even if it does seem like weird or egocentric to build a website for yourself or whatever it is, the marketing really isn't about you. Basically, everything that you do when marketing is about solving other people's problems through a marketing strategy, right? Basically, your reputation will improve, your personal brand will improve as you continue to give and put amazing stuff out there that will help you. So that's also a helpful thing, I know, especially for me to remember, is that it's not really about me. When I'm marketing myself, it's about putting stuff out into the world that helps others. And it does take time to adjust. This is a mentality switch for sure. But once you're established and you see the benefits of having a personal brand, I promise that it'll feel normal and you'll be grateful that you put in this effort to make this happen. And if people give you shit for it, your friends give you a hard time. This happened to me a lot when I first started freelancing. A lot of my friends and whatever started, kind of making fun of me, like, oh, LenaElkins.com or whatever, started giving me a hard time about it. But really, they're just haters. They're jealous. They're jealous because they're employees, because they're not doing their own thing. They haven't discovered their own passions, their own skills. They're just jealous that basically you're making something maybe bigger than they potentially will. So you just cannot let that kind of negativity get to you. But long story short, you guys, just because you promote yourself does not mean that you're an egomaniac. Get over it and focus on what's important. That is not what's important. Moving your business forward and basically finding fulfillment in what you're doing is what is important. So do you even really have to make a website? Sorry guys, long story short, yes, you have to make a website. The good news is though, it's really, really easy. People think that like, I have to make my own website, I have to learn how to code, and I have to build this whole beautiful, glamorous, original thing. That is not true. You can make websites so easily, you guys, with built-in templates. All you have to do is adjust it to how you like it, fill in your information, whatever, and then purchase like a monthly subscription to keep it alive is really all that you have to do. And it's very, very simple. I personally use a website called Squarespace, squarespace.com. It's really easy. All you have to do is go in, you choose your template, you fill out your stuff, chick-chack, it's done, you know? That's my personal recommendation, but there's tons of websites. Obviously, WordPress, you can, use their templates, Rainmaker, there's a ton more, Wix, but I just like Squarespace. I think that they have the most beautiful templates. They're just my style. But go see what works for you. And also, you guys, once you're inside the website, it really can be very simple. All you need is 4 main sections. Maybe an About Me section, a list of your services, maybe a blog, and a contact information. You don't necessarily even have to list your pricing on your website. You can just say, hey, to discuss pricing or work together or whatever, let's schedule a phone call, some kind of a consultation. Basically, you guys, within your website, everything should fall into 4 main categories that I like to call PIVA. Everything on your website should be personal, it should be inspiring, and it should be valuable, and it should be actionable. So don't put random stuff in there that people aren't going to relate to or resonate with or people won't care about. Make sure that everything that you put in there is value-packed. It's either personal, inspiring, valuable, or actionable. Again, it does not have to be complicated, you guys. It's really best to keep it simple so that potential clients can very quickly and easily learn about you, what are you good at, what are you doing, and how can you basically help them. People don't want to be scrolling through tons of information or spending a lot of time on a website. They want to quickly be able to see who is this person and how can they help me? Could this potentially work out to be a business relationship? So to get started, you guys, my recommendation is just head over to squarespace.com. I'll show you in a second what my Squarespace websites look like. I have 3 at this point, and I'll show you what they look like in a second. So this is basically the homepage, or a very small, obviously just the header of my homepage on lenaelkins.com. As you can see in the top left, there's About Me, what I do, which is like a list of my services, my clients, just some social proof showing who I've worked with before, Say Hi, which is like a contact page, and then my blog. So Social Glow, just to make it clear to you guys, Social Glow Consulting is my marketing agency in Tel Aviv. But I have that website, plus I have lenaelkins.com, but they're all kind of, interconnected. Then in the top right, you can see I have like my social things, and then in the middle, it's just like a big banner image, and then obviously the whole website. But to see the whole thing, how it looks, you guys can totally go check it out, lenaelkins.com. And then this is my website for Social Glow. So this is actually, you can't see because this is just a screenshot, but this image here is actually a video. So you can it actually rolls. When you go to socialglowconsulting.com, you'll see that it's actually like a rolling video. Again, super simple. In the top, my home, about, services, contact, blog, a little sign up thing if you want to get on our mailing list. That's it. Really, really easy, really simple to design. You can find beautiful graphics online, that are free, that are legal to take, everything. Make it your own, make it yourself. Okay, you guys, let's take a deep breath here. We're going to move on to content now. How do we create amazing content that sells? When I talk about content, I'm talking about blog content, but also if you're not a writer and that's not something that you want to invest time in, that's fine. You could be creating graphics, infographics, videos, whatever you want to do. You can make quizzes. There's tons of amazing stuff that you can do that counts as content. Doesn't have to be writing, but because I'm a writer, that is mostly what I'm going to be referring to as we go through this. So basically, you guys, today's client acquisition, attracting the right clients, depends on content. There's just no getting around it. As we talked about a few minutes ago, this is basically the ultimate way that people can start understanding who you are, what your services are, what your values are, what does your brand voice sound like, and does that resonate with people? And once that trust is established, once they're used to hearing you over and over and over again, that's what's going to attract them. The first time they ever heard about you, they're not going to be attracted. It takes time. This is how you establish trust and make them reoccurring clients. So again, you guys, it does not have to be just writing, like blog content. It could be different kinds of articles, videos, images, Snapchat content, really anything. But no matter what it is, again, just so you guys know, once again, it needs to fall under PIVA. Keep it personal, inspiring, valuable, actionable. Do not forget those 4 things. And what's amazing, you guys, is if you create a blog post, let's say, it doesn't have to just be a blog post. It's not like you have to create a new piece of content every day. You can take a blog post, and then you can say, okay, now I want to take a quote from it. and put it on Instagram, and then I want to take this from it and turn it into something for Twitter. You can take one blog post and turn it into like 10 different pieces of content. It's just about finding creative ways of breaking it up and making different pieces work depending on the platform that you're using. So obviously, like the kind of content that you would put on Snapchat is different than Instagram, is different than Twitter, is different from Pinterest, is different from Facebook. So just make sure, you guys, that you're taking one piece of content and you're able to atomize it, to break it up into different ways that work for different platforms. And always remember, you guys, your content will only, oh God, my phone's beeping. Please ignore that. Your content will only be awesome if you understand your target audience and their psychographic analyses. So remember before when we kind of walked through our own self-analysis, looking at what are we good at, what are we bad at, you need to be doing the same thing for your clients to make sure that you are basically serving them content that they specifically will find value in. So you guys, as we did this with ourselves, now let's write down for our clients. Again, I would love for you guys to actually write this down and ask yourself, in your ideal world, dependent on what your services are or what your products are, who are your ideal clients and what motivates them? You know, what are their goals? What do they feel insecure or worried about? What are their pains and their problems? And what are their mentalities and their values? So again, I don't know who your ideal customers are, but really start thinking, who are these people and what can you bring to them that specifically will work for them? So I just made this up, you guys. I used to be a fitness instructor when I was a Zumba instructor, but let's just say that your personal brand is to be some kind of nutrition coach or fitness instructor. That is what you are doing. And you have to answer these 4 questions for yourself. First, you would ask yourself, what motivates them and what are their goals, right? Okay, well, maybe if you're looking for people to hire you for your services, then maybe these are people who want to get in shape. You know, getting in shape motivates them. They want to have higher self-esteem. They want to lose weight. They want to live a healthier lifestyle, and they want to have a healthier diet, right? What do they feel insecure or worried about? Who knows? Maybe they're insecure that exercising or eating well is really difficult. You know, it's a lifestyle that they're not used to, or it's really expensive to live a healthy lifestyle, or it's too time consuming, or it's just unattainable. You know, who knows? Maybe these are the things that they're really worried or insecure about. What are their pains or problems? Who knows? Maybe they have a current health problem that they want to fix. Maybe their doctor told them that they need to, get healthier for so and so reasons. Maybe they just don't like healthy foods. They hate eating healthy. They hate exercise, or they don't feel like they have time to exercise. What are their pains or problems here? These are all things that you are going to want to talk about. And what are their mentalities and values, right? What are the things that matter most to them? Maybe they really value their time. They like saving their time. They like saving money. You know, they don't like spending money on expensive food. They value their money. They want to spend quality time with their family and friends more, whatever it is. But keep all of these ideas in mind as you move into thinking, okay, now with this information, what content can I create that will speak to these ideas and help them and attract them? So I just made these up, you guys, but it really took me 5 minutes to think of these. Based on the information we just went through together, what is the corresponding content ideas that we now have? Okay, so for example, maybe you could create all these pieces of content that they would find interest in. 5 at-home workout ideas under 20 minutes. Fitness tips of the day could be an ongoing series. 10 easy and clean eating recipes. Marissa's story, who knows, I just made that up. From couch potato to marathon runner, so something inspiring, How to lose weight without calorie counting. 5 habits every healthy woman practices. 10 calorie burning activities you hadn't thought of. The 5 best stores for shopping healthy on a budget. So the point is, guys, based on the information that we had before, I think that all of these ideas would attract that person, that basically target persona. Don't you think? Think about it. It's not that hard, you guys. And also, you don't have to come up with these tips basically from scratch on your own. Just to make it really clear, you can easily find, if you go to like buzzsumo.com, for example, you can type in any content idea and they will tell you basically all of the content in the world that is most trending on that topic. So that's a really easy way to just get content ideas in general, With that said, that was a little bit of a side note, a little side tip. Now let's talk about how you can get your content seen. How can you get it out into the world? There are plenty of ways for people to basically see your content. You can first share it, obviously, on your website blog. You can also share it on Medium, which is a very highly trafficked blogging platform. If you just go to medium.com, you'll see it. You can share these links on Twitter and Facebook and more. Also, I would utilize the Facebook groups that are oriented towards your target audience. So maybe it's time to go on Facebook and start joining Facebook groups that are full of people who you think are relevant to your audience, people who you think would like the content that you're sharing. Join these groups, start communicating with people before you just start posting, Start communicating, commenting on things, kind of making a name for yourself so people start getting used to seeing you comment, and start posting your content there. I can guarantee you the traffic will come in. If you're using things like Twitter or Instagram, make sure that you're using relevant hashtags, right? You can find easily on Google the most trending hashtags within your industry and start using those to generate a good amount of traffic. Share your content with people that you already have relationships. This is such an underrated thing, you guys. If you think about it, there are plenty of people who already are paying attention to you, whether it's your parents, your mom, your siblings, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your whoever. These are people whose attention you already have, who already support you, and who already want what's best for you. So make sure to share this content with them, and even if it's not relevant directly with them, they will pass it along. These are people who are built-in brand advocates, and you need to take advantage of that. You can also submit your content to relevant publications to attract new audiences, like a guest writer. I do this a lot. I write for different publications like Social Media Today or Elite Daily or Business.com, where basically I'll submit a piece of content, they'll accept it, and then suddenly, once it's published, that piece of content is now shared with an entirely new audience, and it attracts a lot of new people. So this is something that maybe we'll get into more in a little bit, but that is also an important thing to check into. So you can kind of see what publications are trending in your industry, what are people reading, and start thinking, do you think that you could submit this piece of content to that person? So how do you sign with legit clients, right? You don't want to be working with anybody. You don't want to come off as desperate. You essentially want to figure out who are the people that are best for you to be working with for a variety of ways. How do you identify who the good clients are? And then how do you move forward with them and sign those contracts? So I think what it all comes down to, you guys, when signing with legit clients is, one, being able to identify, the quote-unquote good ones, the good clients you want to be working for. And then how can you basically come prepared and confident with whatever the next steps are. So here is how you can identify the best clients, you guys. These are the questions that I ask myself when I potentially have a new client. Does this person or company appreciate your skill set? If you're working in a B2B setting, business to business, are they a stable company or organization? I personally try to avoid, early stage startups because they could go under tomorrow. I don't want to be working with people like that personally, so I avoid unstable companies. Are they respectful of your time? Do they recognize that when you say, I will give you 50 hours a month, that you will actually give them 50 hours a month and not a minute over that? People who don't care about that kind of thing, or people who are calling you in the middle of the night, asking for last-minute urgent things, are not people that you want to be working with. Are they willing to sign a contract? I know this might seem like a no-duh. You guys would be very surprised to know how much this is not a no-duh. I have had clients, one particular client I'm thinking of actually, who was like, why do we need to sign a contract? Of course I'm going to pay you. And he came off as this very trustworthy, awesome, really fun guy. He turned out to not be that way. He did not sign a contract. I had to track him down to pay me. And then I found out that there were 5 other freelancers in my community who had the same experience with him. So make sure, you guys, that you are getting that contract signed to protect your rights. It doesn't matter how much you already trust them, how much you know them. No, you sign the contract. Do you like them as people? Do you feel like you normally vibe? Do you feel like you have similar personalities? Do you get along? You want to have as little conflict as possible with your clients, obviously. You want them to have good relationships with you and recommend you to others. So make sure that you get along. You feel like you're going to have a good relationship from the get-go. Most importantly, you guys, are they going to be consistent and reliable? Will they continue to hire you month after month after month? And this is pretty easy to tell by looking at how established their business is, how frantic they seem, how desperate they seem for your services. You can even ask, who was doing this particular service before for your company to get an idea of, is there a high turnover rate here? Are things constantly changing? Those are things that you want to avoid, guys. But clients who you really want to look for are the people who are going to hire you month after month after month. I have one client. He was actually my first client ever. He's very special. This whole company is very special to me. And now, he's still a client to this day. He's amazing. He's reliable. And he's great to work with. So it's about finding those clients who are anchor clients who you will work with over and over and over again. How do you communicate with them, right? How do you basically find your ideal clients online? And there are multiple ways to do this. First of all, go on Google and find out what websites are out there, what other companies are out there that maybe you want to work with. Look for their social channels. That's a really, really easy thing to do, right? You could see different companies in certain industries that way. And then what you would do is once you found their website, you go, okay, this is a really cool company. Let's make up an example to make this make more sense. If you're a copywriter, for example, and you found a website for a cosmetics company, and you saw that like their copy, the content on their website was written really, really poorly. Maybe they're not native English speakers or whatever it is, but like it's written very poorly. So then you said, okay, so maybe this could be a really great client for me, right? And then you contact them, right? Maybe they have an email on their website or they have like a contact form. And then you reach out to them and you're going to offer them 100% free, valuable advice that's catered to their situation. So maybe it's saying like, hey, blah, blah, blah. Love your website, love your company, whatever. I saw this and this and this. And I thought that maybe it would be helpful for you. Here's 3 different tips that you can do that are really going to be helpful to you. Thanks. Bye. Be personable, be knowledgeable, and be ready to answer any questions because they will respond. Okay, you guys? If you come to them and you offer real, legit, valuable information that wasn't, salesy at all, you're not saying, hey, hire me for this and this and this. You're just saying, hey, here's tips. People are going to respond. And especially they'll begin to see you as an expert if you really avoid insecure words, like maybe sometimes other words that kind of suggest uncertainty or lack of confidence. Avoid those. Say, hey, this is what I do, this is what I recommend, and whatever. Then they'll respond, you'll have some back and forth, and then you need to be direct with your rates and your services. And they might say, oh, wow, you're really good at this, you're an expert at this, that sounds great, how much do you charge? You need to be direct with your rates and with your services. So guys, let's just break this down basically into 8 main steps to make it very, very, very clear. And we're going to be going from left to right. As you can see, they're numbered 1 through 8. The first thing that you're going to do is understand your customers and their needs, right? What is their psychographic analyses? What is your ideal customer persona? Number 2 is create a personal brand through a website and a blog. Easy to do. Create helpful, valuable, personable, engaging content. Number 4, utilize your existing relationships and build new ones to promote your brand. Number 5, reach out to potential customers who interest you. Number 6, confidently propose your rates and hope you will specifically help them. Number 7, make the sale and repeat. Do it over and over and over again. And remember, you guys, this is a long-term game. Just because it doesn't work out with one client doesn't mean that it won't work out with the next. Continue to reach out to people. Continue to bring valuable, awesome, relevant content. And trust me, they will take interest in you and it will sell. So you guys, everyone take a deep breath. Again, that is it of this 3-part video course. And just to very, very quickly kind of go over all the things that we've covered. We have talked about how is the best way to approach your career and your income so that you can make more money and work for yourself. We've discussed how you can discover and validate your awesome business ideas. We've talked about how you can better understand your skills and your weaknesses and leverage that to your advantage. We've talked about how you can get people to pay attention to your skills and how to pay you for those skills that you already have. We talked about how to become an expert at something, what that means to be an expert, how to manage an independent business and set your own rates, how to create a lifestyle and schedule that's flexible, how to market yourself as a premium, high-ticket professional, how to create a website and blog that helps you build brand awareness, and how to build relationships with potential clients and get them to sign major contracts. Okay, you guys, that is all that we have for this free 3-part video course. If you think that that is not enough for you, don't worry, you guys. I got it. I actually have a surprise coming for you in just a few days. You'll get it in the email. But that's all I have for now, you guys. I hope you loved it. I hope you found value in it. I hope you feel inspired to go out and start their own businesses. If you have any questions, if you need more guidance, if you need more one-on-one support or feedback, please don't feel free to email me. I am happy to help you answer any questions, bounce ideas back and forth. But I hope you found this inspiring and you are ready to go. Thanks for joining Reaching Richness, guys. Welcome to the Reaching Richness family, and I will talk to you guys in just a few days. Bye.